Hey, Sarah here with the Green Executive. So the question is, what kind of scheduling should I use for a callback or an upcharge, something that isn't necessarily a maintenance contract? We know that's pretty straightforward with maintenance contracts. We can go here within time, jobs, job list. I'm inside a job and go down to the schedule, and you can add it using your schedule template. You can add it as a recurring job if you had a whole contract. If you had an install or a one-off job, you could do it a one-time job. So the question is, what if it's someone who has a contract, but I want to add aeration and overseeding to it? Or I have an upsell that I need to go take care of. What should I use, recurring job or one-time job? And the answer is really you can use either one. Just keep in mind, when you select here, it opens up the door to certain calendars. So this, by selecting one-time job, I'm only seeing my non-recurring calendar list here. This is the only list of this is a list of calendars that are non-recurring. So meaning in my settings, in my setup, I have recurring calendars and non-recurring calendars. I have to have at least one of each. If I have more than that, that's totally optional. It's just a matter of how you view it. But when I come here and say add and I choose a one-time job, I see the calendars available here that are non-recurring calendars. Okay. If I come here and say recurring job, I see I have the options for the template here, of course. And then if I work through that, I can go on, and this is for recurring calendars. Okay. So what I want to show you is that whether it's a recurring calendar or a non-recurring, so one-time jobs, it's non-recurring. I'm going to put it straight on the calendar. What am I going to do when I'm there? When am I going to do it? Versus adding recurring job, I've got my schedule template, and that's set up to say what we do when. It recognizes that this particular job I'm in is already scheduled, but that's okay. For our purposes, I'm going to go on to next. Now here it recognized that on my schedule template, the aeration overseeding is to be waitlisted. I have the option here to edit that and say, instead of the wait list, I'm going to just put it directly on the calendar manually. So here under edit, I'm going to cancel out and go back. So I chose add it to the schedule. I said, let's just go for the recurring because I want to put it on a calendar that I already have my other items on maybe, or the calendar I want to put it on as a recurring calendar. And then instead of waitlisting it, I'm going to go ahead and say when we're going to do it manually. Now, the list of calendars is here. So these are my recurring calendars that are set up in this example. Okay. So really that choice way back here of, cancel. Way back here of recurring or one-time job, that's just asking essentially what calendar do you want to put it on. This would go on a non-recurring calendar. This would go on your recurring calendar. It suggests using the template, or you could do a custom. What are you going to clock into? Next. Edit. Manual. Because I chose custom that time, it did manual. So the options here are those recurring calendars. So really the question is, what calendar do you want to see it on when it's asking recurring or one-time job? And then you can fill in all the details here as usual. All right, thanks so much. I hope that helps.